Arriving on Earth in the shadows, the alien moves with a cold, determined purpose and accuracy. This galactic empire warrior views Earth as a minor conquest. Conquering and departing, Mission Crush travels quickly through the forest where the sky is silent and gloomy, and the terrain doesn't frighten Earth. It's just another target, a primitive world that is awaiting the alien move to dominate it with silent might. But there's a weird, subtle hum in the air with every step. Trees tremble as it goes by, its weapons gleaming in the low light, sleek and sophisticated beyond anything Earth has ever seen. Its armor is strengthened by materials that flex like muscle and shine like metal, allowing it to adapt to any situation. This warrior is here to demonstrate that the Galactic Empire is superior to Earth, not only to fight, can protect against. Suddenly a slight movement flickers in the distance. Capturing it pauses, then raises its weapon in a flash, ready to destroy whatever appears. But there is only silence as the creature waits for its sense to. A tiny, barely perceptible ruffle of leaves raised the analysis of the region. Interrupts the quiet, which could be an indication of life or something else. However, nothing appears to be menacing to this warrior. It only perceives what it wants to destroy close to the Green Beret. Is observing and has witnessed things that others only hear about in stories about the devastation caused by war. Despite the fact that survival is a part of his life, this isn't as he watches the alien warrior make its frigid mechanical steps, the human opponent gets a weird chill. Recognizes right away that he isn't prepared for this situation and that he will require more than using only his raw strength. He controls his breathing and heartbeat. He is aware that his technological prowess and even speed are inferior, but that isn't what he depends on his strength, which is patience, cunning, and familiarity with the. He silently lands and evaluates the alien's motions, noting its height, reach the way its weapon is stored in his mind. He computes and identifies its weaknesses. In the meantime, the alien becomes increasingly irritated as he considers how he might take advantage of his circumstances. Anticipates dread and anxiety, but nothing here appears to recognize it as it continues to move through the jungle. It hears a faint sound that is just out of reach. The Green Beret has taken a few extra precautions to prevent any noise from blending into the shadows while he waits to battle. However, the alien gradually comes to comprehend his enemy's pattern. The quiet surrounding it has an odd quality. There's a serenity that doesn't go with its normally. Other species would run away or fight right away. But here, there's only the creature, who isn't used to being ignored, finds this quiet annoying and modifies its weapon ready to demonstrate its might. But before it can respond, a small movement attracts its attention. The Green Beret has moved just a bit closer, this time nearly within reach. Enough to draw attention, but he remains hidden to stay one step ahead, trying to see how patient the alien is. It responds by establishing its rhythm. Focus is all that is required. Sophisticated technology is not. The alien lifts its weapon in preparation to attack, but there isn't a visible target. As its haughtiness begins to blend with bewilderment, the Green Beret takes advantage of the opportunity to retreat further into the darkness, giving only the smallest indication of his existence that he is aware of defeat this thing. But he can cast doubt on it because he knows how effective it is to make an adversary pause as the alien adjusts its sensors in an attempt to find the movement it detected before the Green Beret has already planned out his next course of action. He will pull it rather than face it yet deeper, allowing it to squander energy and become increasingly agitated in combat. He has discovered sometimes the initial move or the biggest blow doesn't lead to victory. Other times, it comes from making the other side show its weakness. The alien recalculates after seeing that its first strategy isn't working, to maintain composure, but there's a glimmer of something it hasn't experienced previously, a tiny bit of uncertainty that it has been taught to crush. But instead of pursuing an unseen danger, it advances, modifying its posture, but its confidence has diminished. It is aware that it is being observed, but it is unable to locate the watcher. The Green Beret notices this change. The momentary hesitancy. He understands that even the strongest people can falter when they can't see their opponent catching their breath, so they hesitate in their stride. He keeps watching and waiting because he needs the alien to perceive it as less superior, even if he doesn't need to fight. Since it believed that this was a test of control and patience rather than a combat, the low vibrating sound, almost a growl, is released by the alien as its haughtiness begins to rise, to dissipate and be replaced by something strange, and it becomes frustrated and begins looking around, swinging its weapon more forcefully, poised to strike at the first sign of movement. However, all that is visible are shadows that change with the wind, and the Green Beret remains concealed, unseen, yet present, allowing the extraterrestrial to reveal itself to him. That a thoughtless action can change the outcome of a battle, and he's currently waiting for that one mistake because in this quiet, the winner's talent, patience, and power are not determined solely by dark forest power. As the alien searches the Green Beret and silently gets ready, the element of surprise is just as lethal as any weapon. Being aware that he will soon make this quest far riskier than the alien could have imagined, the Green knowing that comprehending this monster is essential to surviving, Beret observes every move the extraterrestrial makes. Is obviously technologically advanced, but it doesn't know the topography of Earth. The Green Beret recognizes this advantage and prepares his next actions by evaluating his abilities rather than depending solely on physical strength. Utilize the natural shelter, uneven terrain, and shadows in his surroundings to his advantage. Becomes a component of his plan, enabling him to remain hidden and fit in while watching the alien's movements. The Green Beret trained in calculated confidence, so it doesn't expect an opponent who can predict its maneuvers. Patience and study reveal that the alien design has a rhythm to its steps. Its weapon is ready, and its eyes move in a predictable ox, but the alien ignores little but important things, yet it doesn't explain stillness or silence. Green Beret makes use of this by hiding in obscure places and moving with little and deliberate movements while maintaining focus. The extraterrestrial sensors pick up traces without making any noise. Although they're subtle and periodically, its annoyance increases as it attempts to identify Point, the thing that's interfering with its journey. Conquered other worlds, but it finds it difficult to recognize a threat on this archaic planet that it views as inferior. This person doesn't appear to be wearing any armor or sophisticated weapons, but something about every time the alien stops to rebalance the situation, it feels different. Detects the Green Beret's silent gaze as it watches and waits. Understands that his advantage is in taking advantage of the alien's conceit. He is aware that every time he fails to it will eventually be worn down by the alien's attempts to locate him, and frustration will gradually erode its precision. Every time he observes the alien's reaction, he starts to create small distractions, like a slight movement here or a faint sound there. It turns swiftly and swings its weapon, but nobody is there to hit it over time. The alien's movements become more irregular and acute, indicating that it is starting to question its surroundings. The alien is kept on edge by the Green Beret's constant, silent pressure, which turns into a game of endurance, a struggle of nerves and willpower. The alien is used to swiftly defeating its adversaries. But this puts it in a situation where it is unable to comprehend the Green Beret's patience and stillness, which produce an insurmountable mental barrier that cannot be broken by technology alone after several hours. The alien begins to change tactics because they are no longer content with simply in an attempt to flush out its enemy. It starts shooting into empty spaces. Opponent. But this just shows how frustrated the Green Beret is. Keeping track of the effects of each weapon, each blind shot fired, learning how to avoid and predict the alien's next move, each missed shot provides a tip or suggestion about the aliens are strong, but they rely too much on their superior equipment. The Green Beret silently noted each error, figuring out how long he must continue to apply this pressure. Knowing he would have no chance in a fight using physical force, but in this case, by making the alien consider losing control by using the sophisticated technology of the aliens to gradually weaken its resolve. Opposing it, acknowledging that intricate systems frequently have intricate weaknesses in subtle ways. Gives the alien clues that lead it down a false path, causing it to look in the wrong direction and doubt its sensors. The alien gradually begins scanning more forcefully, its weapon pulsing with energy in preparation for a shot. At any indication of movement, but every weapon flare goes undetected by each skin. The Green Beret is everywhere and nowhere, allowing the alien to exhaust itself without a response. The alien was obviously not prepared for this degree of opposition. The goal of military training has been to utilize direct, overwhelming force rather than to gradually erode subtle resistance. The alien's calm gradually begins to erode, and its weapon movements start to twitch and scan erratically, as though the Green Beret observes this slight change, which might be an indication of danger lurking in every shadow. His accomplishments, the alien's arrogance is eroding and being replaced by an unknown. He is aware that this mental battle will ultimately result in errors, so the Green Beret keeps up his silent maneuvers. He maneuvers deliberately to avoid being spotted and always stays just out of reach. His presence is a silent force that is cautious not to disrupt the ground although the alien is unable to detect or ignore the Green Beret, he is aware that his greatest strength and equipment are not when the alien's annoyance peaks. His knowledge of the terrain and his capacity to outlast it turn into evident that with each failed search for the Green Beret, it is growing impatient. The Green Beret's confidence is eroded by each shot that is fired into empty air. Recognizes that he currently has the psychological upper hand in this standoff, the alien's patience and accuracy will prevail over technology. Attempts once more to capture the Green Beret off guard, letting forth a burst of weapon fire into the night. But with every unsuccessful attack by the alien, Green Beret is only a faint presence at the periphery of their perception. The alien starts to wonder if it has miscalculated this as its posture becomes less stable and its attention becomes more strained. The extraterrestrial stands silently surrounded by the green, and humans believe they can easily conquer this Earth. Beret observes in silence, waiting for the ideal opportunity to transform this annoyance into a choice he knows he has by forcing the alien's mind to the limit of its endurance. He has sowed doubts that Earth might be more powerful than it had anticipated, and this insight, which is buried deep within the alien's psyche, might be the Green Beret's best weapon, which he keeps focused on despite the alien's superior technological capabilities, experience in the uncertain terrain of Earth. And as he closely examines, he starts to realize how dependent, even though advanced, wasn't made for this particular environment. He recognizes that the alien is using its equipment, believes the alien will gradually wear out if he can keep it in uncharted region, and every mistake will bring he walks with precision, managing his pace and staying in the shadows, bringing him closer to a tactical advantage. He has learnt the alien's movement patterns while remaining totally hidden, which, despite their efficiency, betray a degree of the Green Beret perceives that the alien's confidence has shifted from predictability to frustration. Its inflexible position is evident as it attempts to adjust to an enemy that it cannot see. The Green Beret understands that he has caused the alien to experience for the first time the unease of an adversary who is as relentless and strong. He starts to take the lead by utilizing his surroundings. Intruder farther into a region of the landscape that is even more advantageous to him. It is full of narrow passageways, abrupt dips, and dense. The vegetation in this area is dense, uneven, and rugged. It takes experience and the ability to maneuver through the alien's formidable armor and weapons may be paramount rank, but every step it takes grows sluggish and clunky, and every turn looks a little bit off. It's evident a moment too late that the extraterrestrial isn't used to adjusting to their environment without significantly depending on tech. The Green Beret understands he's now in charge of its sensors, and knowing that he cannot provide the alien even a brief moment of comfort, the Green Baron employs subtly distracting mislead the alien further by creating the small agitations that cause it to act rashly and challenge its self-control. The alien always reacts when under pressure, but its movements are less confident and fluid instead. There's a rigidity is an indication that the Green Beret's instinct for dominance is giving way to uncertainty and unfamiliarity. Acknowledges that this is the turning point at which the alien must respond to him, and that this change has given him the advantage. He requires that the alien's actions grow less coordinated with every minute that goes by. A minor but crucial slip. The Green Beret understands that in an opponent who is otherwise well-trained, his tactic to gradually deplete the alien's physical and mental resources is working. And it takes patience to wait for the ideal opportunity to take advantage of this change. Each delayed response the alien makes is evidence that it's having trouble with this type of battle, in which the Green Beret recognizes that power alone isn't the deciding factor. That even with its armor and cutting-edge weapons, the alien is ill-equipped for a protracted battle without a clear target. Becomes increasingly irritated as it uses energy and recognizes that it's despite its strength. He senses that this warrior is nearing the end of its training and has seldom ever been it is trained to swiftly overwhelm in an uncertain situation, but it cannot endure when an opponent declines to appear. The Green Beret spots a crucial. The alien's pattern of vulnerability is that it tends to look over its shoulder whenever it hears a slight sound, exposing a visual blind spot in its perception of this tiny, seemingly a small habit provides him with the insight he needs, and he understands that he can take advantage of this automatic gaze by focusing just enough of the alien's focus to surprise it. He starts to carefully contemplate how to leverage this in his strategy. Fragility to his advantage in keeping his disguise, he keeps leading the extraterrestrial into more dense here. The alien's movements are further limited by the confined environment. Every stride turns like a workout, and overcoming hurdles causes it to slow down even more as it tries to navigate the green. Beret understands that he now has complete control over the alien surroundings. Clearly anxious, he hesitates before every step, alert to any potential hazards. This caution shows a change, and the Green Beret realizes that the alien now worries about making a mistake. This change is essential because it makes the alien reflect and reconsider, shattering the assurance that once described it. This warrior, who was so confident of itself when it arrived, is now compelled to depend on instincts that aren't as precise as it once believed its reactions to be. The Green Beret has effectively demonstrated a weaker attitude by becoming reactive instead of precise and calculating, forced the alien to battle on his terms after dragging it out of its comfort zone. An alien leaps forward in a rapid, violent maneuver, as though to take command of the situation, but the Green Beret anticipates the move one step before, staying disguised but alert while observing as the alien's daring endeavor is unsuccessful, and all of their hard work is in vain. Serves merely to deplete its resources and increase its focus. The Green Beret knows that his meticulous preparation is gradually with every unsuccessful effort to find him. The alien's resolve is eroded, and their confidence is replaced by, and the Green Beret interprets this strange tension as the last indication that his strategies are effective and is certain that the extraterrestrial it has been compelled to admit that it is almost at its breaking point. Its irritation now verging on desperation. Even with its superior training and technology, the Green Beret is still in control of this battle. He can feel the increasing uneasiness as the alien's movements have grown sudden and erratic, always just out of reach. The alien is clearly chaotic and has lost its sense of control as it struggles in a setting that seems to shut in on it. Tighter every second, this once powerful warrior who was trained to rule is now faced with an opponent that it cannot perceive, anticipate, or defeat. As the Green betrays, knowing that he has already won half the war, he gets ready for the next phase. The alien takes away his confidence, and now that he's been reduced to reactive behaviors, he's only a shadow of the power that arrived. Waiting for the extraterrestrial has been pushed into a vulnerable position that it isn't prepared to deal with. The Green Beret's position strengthens with each second, demonstrating that physical strength is no match for the alien's adaptability and resilience, which has made them doubt its presumptions of dominance and is currently facing defeat due to a fact that never foresaw the Green Beret's dominance over this interaction. Has changed the course through sheer perseverance and strategic acumen, and the alien now confronts the chance that it might not end this encounter, since Victor the Green Beret believes the alien is about to shatter moment. Its composed and calculated movements have been replaced by obvious annoyance. He is aware of the alien's determination, is stuttering and prepared to take dangerous actions since the alien's tolerance has run out, and it has reached the limit of what it is able to survive without direct conflict, because its weapon is primed and appears ready to use its full arsenal in a final effort to identify the alien's state of mind. The Green betrays and flush out its elusive opponent. Determines that since he is certain the alien would react, it is time to switch from silent observation to strategic interaction. Impulsively, and he takes advantage of this as he regulates his breathing, preparing his thoughts for the anxious minutes that lie ahead. He is prepared for situations such as these, where calm under pressure becomes a weapon in and of itself. Each step in motion is well prepared. He is now prepared to face the alien directly, but he will now set the parameters of their interaction. Clearly upset, it has stopped acting with the customary prudence and is now acting quickly and aggressively. When its guard is down, it is reacting out of frustration and tiredness, whether it is due to pure training or instinct. He keeps a watchful eye on every tense action, noticing any hesitations to see what the Green Beret has been waiting for. The Green Beret is ready to exploit the alien's behavior, which has changed from confidence to desperation, against it. The Green Beret's strategy is straightforward yet efficient. Put the alien in circumstances where it can't rely only on using its sophisticated technology, he deliberately maneuvers the alien into a more constrained space with less freedom to move, and where the alien follows it, his own flexibility and agility will be useful. Gets more and more confined, aware of the boundaries, yet unable to regulate its course. When the alien recognizes its being as its aggression increases, Coral fires indiscriminately, sending out spurts of energy into the shadows. Yet every shot fails, squandering valuable resources. Using the terrain to his advantage, Green Beret dodges every blow from the alien's strong blasts. It is frightening when powerful things fail to land, yet they have been compelled to spend it in vain, eroding its position with every futile attempt, and the alien is now clearly frustrated. When in full offensive mode, its weaponry and strength are impressive, but they lack accuracy. Prove ineffectual, the Green Beret waits for the alien tire to wear itself out. Understanding that each stroke increases its disadvantage, this methodical technique is the alien becomes more exhausted and confused as they work with each missed shot. Battling a circumstance beyond its control, the Green Beret's resilience has converted the Green Beret seed's strength into its vulnerability as the conflict gets more intense. The alien's unpredictable movements and rapid fire have exposed it, resulting in a brief but crucial opening. He quickly takes advantage of the foreign, chaotic state he attacks precisely. Focusing on the weak spots in the alien's armor that he has seen to be both maximum impact is used to deliver the strike, undermining the alien's position. Caught off guard tries to strike back, but its strikes steal their attention. Its weapon is still strong, but the alien finds it difficult to aim precisely because Green Beret has upset its equilibrium, making the alien hits more. It swings with the intention of pushing the Green Beret back, but his training enables him to sidestep and avoid each strike with ease, keeping the Green Beret just out of range. Keeps applying pressure with his well-coordinated and effective moves. Does Rush not realize that every move he takes will help the alien's own panic lead to its demise? Intentionally designed to throw the alien off balance and prevent them from regaining control of the now that its might is being used against it, the alien's energy is being further taxed by its strong but disorganized strikes, making it more and more exposed until the alien ultimately commits a crucial mistake. It overextends, lunging forward with all of its might in a frantic attempt to break the impasse. Now, as expected, the Green Beret avoids the lunge and strikes the alien's exposed side with a powerful blow. Exploiting the vulnerability he's found, the impact knocks the alien to the ground. The alien stumbles while trying to restore its feet since its balance is off and its foothold is unsteady. It's evident that the Green Beret is no longer the invincible warrior that it once seemed to be. It still maintains its composure and concentrated, paying close attention to every movement the alien now clearly shaken. It makes one more attempt at attack, but its movements are slower and its strength is clearly depleted. It also realizes the Green Beret remains steadfast, anticipating the alien's next move, even though it has been completely outmatched. But he is aware that it will probably be the last. The alien pauses, as though ultimately admitting its failure, its posture sagging a little under the strain of fatigue and loss. The once an adversary has stripped the self-assured warrior of its strength and resolve, leaving it a shell of its former self, dependent on strategy, perseverance, and fortitude rather than superior weapons. As the Green Beret stays firm, as the alien takes one final shaky step forward. With his unyielding position, he has demonstrated that wisdom alone cannot ensure victory and that brute force alone cannot. And flexibility may defeat even the most formidable foes. At this point, he recognizes the importance of his accomplishments, not only for himself, but also as evidence of human fortitude and resourcefulness. The extraterrestrial, the weapon falls silent, its stance collapses, the light goes out. And the defeated and humbled person is unable to fight anymore. Fades. The Green Beret victorious observes in its eyes as his opponent succumbs, admitting that their fight is over, but he is aware that this victory was achieved despite the difficulty of the fight. When the aliens fall, the Green Beret stands alone thanks to skill and perseverance. Having defeated an adversary with significantly greater strength and technological prowess, the lesson learned from this battle is evidently valid. Strength is found in the unwavering desire to persevere and outlast, not in armor or weaponry. This silent victory is evidence of the tenacity of people who battle with skill and heart, showing that even the most formidable foes may be vanquished by individuals who recognize the importance of the Green Beret's patience, tactics, and adaptability. As he exits the battleground, he is aware that the experience has revealed the extent of his own resiliency, which goes beyond a triumph over an extraterrestrial invader, is a testament to humanity's resilience and ability to overcome victorious. The conflict is ended, but its effects endure as a silent reminder that despite its seeming primitivism, Earth is home to warriors capable of facing the galaxy's most powerful forces. When news of the aliens' defeat reaches the Galactic Empire, it swiftly circulates across their extensive message networks. This was not just any warrior, but one of their best, communicating the sudden loss to every part of their dominion. Soldier who personified their strength and authority, the notion that one human unarmed and without advanced weaponry, this warrior sent shockwaves and incredulity across the global leaders. Strategists and empire commanders paused to think there are differing responses inside the empire to this. With some dismissing it as an unusual occurrence that is unlikely to happen again, they contend that Earth although minor planets don't actually pose a threat, some people are unsure and perceive the setback as a warning or indication that humanity might have unanticipated, incalculable strengths. These voices, speaking to technology alone, caution, and the need to reconsider the Empire's plans for Earth, which previously thought it would be easy to conquer, now envisage it with a sliver of fear. Humanity, which was long thought to be primitive, is now a contributing component in their once back on Earth. The Green Beret discreetly resumes everyday activities. Grand parades and festivities are not in store for him. His triumph is his own. The conflict was personal, and he bears the burden with a silent determination. For him, this was more than simply surviving. It was evidence of his discipline, training, and dedication to defense. He considers what he's had to deal with, knowing that his actions might have changed the future of Earth. This experience has altered him, even though he has experienced conflict before. This struggle was unlike any he has ever faced. Having encountered previously, he substituted the instances with the strategies he employed. He trusted his instincts and patience because he knew that when he faced the extraterrestrial, he has demonstrated not only his own strength but also the strength of all people who persevere in the face of great circumstances. It's a quiet single triumph, but he is aware that it speaks volumes because his attention was not on proving anything to the alien, but now he understands that it conveys a message of fortitude that goes beyond as he returns to his routine on the battlefield. He realizes there might be more. The Galactic Empire will not readily accept such a defeat, given the problems that lie ahead. Examines the potential that this interaction counter was only the start of how his acts might have attracted the fact that Empire is paying more attention to Earth than it has previously does not discourage him. Rather, it increases his readiness. He is aware that he and others like him will be ready to defend themselves if the need arises again. The Green Beret's silent but potent message is contained in this victory for humanity. This becomes a narrative that warriors recount and serves as a reminder to those who comprehend its meaning. Strength isn't just about technology or force, it's also about having the fortitude to persevere and see past the instant danger. His acts turn into a reflection of what it entails to bravely and strategically protect one's home. Even though there might never be public recognition of his actions, those in the know recognize the significance of what he accomplished. The Galactic Empire is now cognizant of Earth's unexpected resiliency, starts to reconsider its tactics and human perspective. Changes from scorn to prudence. Leaders discuss how to deal with this planet that has proven to be more than they initially considered. The prospect that their conquest of Earth could necessitate more than the defenders of brute force Earth have shown that they can exploit their environment to gather information, and their unwavering resolve to take on even the Empire's most skilled warriors in this silent resistance. This unexpected triumph creates a lasting mark in the Empire's records. Earth is no longer merely a target. The Green Beret is an entity that demands respect. Even though victory was gained in silence, it reverberates throughout light years, a survival story that reaches those who may. I've never heard of him, but I know the consequences of this one act of rebellion. Acts as a warning and evidence of the might of a planet that has been undervalued. As the Empire discusses its, the Green Beret is cautious about his next action because he understands that this might not be the aliens' fall, may have put a halt to their intentions, but it might also have inspired them to come back with stronger power. But he clings to the belief that if that day comes, he has demonstrated that Earth is capable of overcoming the obstacle and that they are not helpless. Strengths that are invisible and unquantifiable to outside observers in the background. Others start to prepare the Green Ra victory tale so that it becomes a silent call to action and inspiration for people who are aware of. They all know that troops, scientists, and strategists might one day be called upon to defend their world. They must be prepared to use all of their abilities, strengths, and expertise to fight back. His triumph has served as a model and a reminder of humanity's. The Galactic Empire's biggest advantage is found in utilizing its own special qualities, rather than trying to equal the Empire's power. Send scouts to watch and collect data while keeping an eye on Earth from a distance. They examine the strategies employed in an attempt to determine what went wrong by trying to crack the human mind. They understood how one individual might have triumphed over a force as powerful as their own. Even with their superior technology, they have qualities like intelligence, patience, and adaptability that are difficult to overcome. The Empire changes as a result of their growing regard for Earth. They start to view people not as rudimentary creatures, yet they are fierce foes that cannot be vanquished by brute force alone. Of the fallen extraterrestrial warrior serves as a warning to approach Earth cautiously, since they cannot afford to undervalue this species once more. because the Green Beret's existence is still peaceful. Alertness. He stays ready knowing that his fight might have established a standard, but it might also have created opportunities for future fights, but he embraces this fact fearlessly. Knowing that if the moment comes again, he would approach it with the same determination, because his triumph was not just for himself but also for all those who called Earth home. And with this triumph, he has demonstrated that people can overcome even the most powerful opponents with bravery and resourcefulness, ultimately turning his conflict into more than a personal one. Triumph is a representation of Earth's tenacity and a testament to the inner strength of each person who defies insurmountable difficulties the Empire might return, but they will realizing that Earth is a globe that will withstand and endure. Not simply another conquered territory as a planet prepared to battle for its existence. This tale of silent triumph endures in the memories of it served as a reminder to those who saw it of what it meant to resist overwhelming authority. And as a result, the Green, knowing that his acts have sent a message that spans the universe, Beret continues to be a silent guardian ready for whatever comes next. Galaxies are a testament to the tenacity, fortitude, and unwavering spirit of humanity.